If you want to improve your life, stop listening to other people. Now, it's a lot easier said than done, but what I've learned to do is listen to almost nobody. Now, I do listen to people who are actually ahead of me and are living somewhat of the life that I want. But other than that, I'm very careful now, and I never used to be. So if you're a little bit younger than me, or you're just getting started and you're trying to improve your life, this will be helpful for you, because the world is noisy. As a young man growing up, you're bombarded with advice and shoulds. I hate the word should, because it's the people who say should, they always imply that you should do this, and it's like their way. But a lot of the people that are giving you advice on what to do, their lives are either shit, or they don't live the advice. Like, they don't walk the walk as well. They just speak shite, and you've got to be able to like mute it. And it's very difficult to do when you first start, because like your friend group is likely huge, and over time that gets smaller and smaller because people do their own thing, end up settling down, getting kids, mortgages, and tied into jobs they hate. And then the next thing you know, they're 40 years old and like, oh shit, where'd life go? But as you standing out, and it's like the black sheep of the group, right? You want to improve your life, and you want to make this life not like anybody else. Like for me, I was like, I only focused on something in the future. Like, I'm not the best looking in my group. I'm not the most physically gifted, and I was definitely not the smartest. But I always knew I was different, and I always knew I was like, it's hard to even explain. There's just a feeling in some of us that is like all this shit that people brag about when we're younger. Like he's got that car, he's got that house, he's got that job, he's got that girl. None of it really bothered me, because I always used to just think it's fine. Like, I've got a better life coming, and I've proved it. Now, for context, if you're new here, my whole life I've worked in oil and gas and fishing and farming and all the physical shit jobs. And I always wanted to do something different. And now I live in Southeast Asia, making money from my laptop. And I'm here to address the journey that you're probably going to go on, and how hard it is, and how beneficial it is, even though it's fucking hard. Because the feeling that you've got, I'm here to tell you, like, it's fine. You've got it, so you need to act on it, or your life will be shit, because you'll just be depressed and anxious, thinking like, oh, I should have done this, I could have done that. But today's video, that actual thing that you really need to, if you can take one thing from this video today, it's discerning between advice. Discern between who's telling you what. I still have to do it now, because I, coming up to this point, was really like influenced by people that weren't even in the position I want to be in, which is stupid, by the way. So if you're like that, stop it now, because you need to just take a look at their life and their decisions, and what their life looks like after the decisions they've made. And then you've got to discern, okay, why is this person trying to tell me this? Is there a hidden agenda? Because the reality is, most people do not want you to do well. It's just true. They don't want you to. And like, they won't admit it either. Some of them might actually. And they're actually better off, because then you can just be like, okay, bye. But most people don't want to see you do well, and they don't want to see you get on. So you've got to discern what the hidden agenda is between what they say. And it's very tricky when you get started. But I'm just here to tell you, like, I think I've held myself back for so long, not discerning earlier. So I do not listen to anyone now. Literally nothing. Apart from what I had a call with my coach last night. And I've got a current service I offer. So I'm a copywriter, and I'm an email marketer. So like, rather than just sending my clients like emails or ads or whatever the copy for their marketing, I actually send out the emails on behalf of the client as well. So it's kind of like a double service, where you just take email off of their plate, because business owners are so busy, they just haven't got time. And also there's a lot more tech and strategy that goes into sending out emails at what time and how many, and like growing the list, and like making sure it's hitting inbox. There's a lot to it, right? So they just don't have time. And so that's the service I deliver. And I've got a coach for that right now. So I listen to what he says, and that's fine. But you've got to discern for your own life. Like, I'll just keep going on the example of me, because you will maybe relate to it. You can listen to certain people for certain things. So I'm listening to him to get to a really good stage in my life and the service I provide. But I also think beyond that. And then I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do long term? Who are the people to listen to for that? And what's the action steps I can take today that will still build that long-term future whilst solidifying my short to mid-term goals? So just think about it in this way when people are speaking to you. Because if you still live at home or you still live in the town that you grew up in, that's where it's the most noisy. Now, we're fortunate enough that you can just come online and start to change the opinions you listen to. That's like great. That's actually like the best thing ever, because like that's how I got started. I look back to the lockdown period when I started all this, 4 failed online business attempts. I didn't have a clue what I was doing or nothing. I used to walk every day to my grandma's where it was locked down. You remember that, where it was like tiers, where it was like tier 1 or 2 or 3 or like some shite like that, where you couldn't like actually go inside, but you could meet at a distance. Please do not get me started on this topic, but I digress. I used to go in the same route every day for like years on end, where I was going through this personal development, like spiritual battle, where I was like, whoa, I don't want to live like the way I've been living. I don't want to work on oil rigs, and I don't want to be an engineer, and I don't want to be in a fish factory or on a boat earning money. Oh wait, we've got the internet. Oh wow. And this is where it started for me. So you can start there too. Like, start listening to podcasts about money, because the thing that annoyed me the most was the way that I earned money. So then what did I listen to? I still remember, right? I'm walking, it's freezing, like 100-mile-an-hour winds in Scotland during COVID. Nobody's going about. I'm walking across the shoreline to go to my grandma's because I had to get out of the house and I had to listen to this podcast. And I don't really like sitting and listening to podcasts. I like to be on the move. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the exercise and you're getting the therapy in here. So it goes back to what I was saying before. Download new information about the most pressing problem you've got in your life. For me, back then, at the start of this journey, and it will probably be similar for you, is the way that you earn money annoys the fuck out of you. Because look, it's 5 a.m, it's 100-mile-an-hour winds, -3. I've got to go deal with some asshole all day telling me to do this and do that and do that. It used to wind me up. So I used to start listening to podcasts about money. There's actually a good podcast called Money. It's called Money. It's called The Money Podcast, I think, by Rob Moore. Listen to it. Start absorbing new ways to think about how you earn. And like, because it all stems from that. If you don't find a way to earn money in a way that you don't hate, then your life's shit. For me, that was 12-hour shifts, 21 days in a row on the oil rig or at night, so 21 nights in a row. That was what I was going to be subjected to for the rest of my life. Or even worse, I would have got a job in engineering where my brain would have been fried from start to finish, and I would have been promised all this fancy packages of retirement and fucking all that shit. And it wouldn't have worked out in my favour, because I would have been going down a path of depression and anxiety. Now, the thing is, to add to this, I would highly recommend you do personality tests, because this makes so much sense to me now, why I had to discern about opinions and advice, and why I can save you years of time. Do a personality test, then you'll understand why you get all these weird feelings when people give you advice. Because like, I'm a creator star by nature, and what did I do in my studies? Mechanical engineering. Just think for a second how fucking insane that is. I am a creator star, which means like I am extroverted, I like creating, I like leading, inspiring, motivating, and I did a mechanical engineering degree. Oh man, it's like trying to mix chalk and cheese. But what did all my family, friends, and people close to me said? You should go do that because you'll get a good job, which is good money. Not even understanding the core fundamental thing about being alive is to enjoy your life and do things that you're supposed to do, because God gave us a unique identity. And here's me sitting trying to learn equations like that long. It's stupid. So just please discern between the closest people that are giving you advice, because the conditioning is, oh, money, good job, but that's as far as it goes. They don't think past that. It's like, what if I hate it? No, but it's good money. Stop listening to that, please. So do your personality test, discern between the advice. You will save yourself lots of pain. Start listening to podcasts on the most pressing problem in your life. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's fitness. They're obviously tied together, health and fitness, but you get what I'm saying. Things that are wrong with your body. For example, I'll just give you an example, because this is like how you educate yourself over time and you start to become more self-aware. So take the discernment and the opinions and advice, leave it there for a second. When you get into the self-development space and you start really wanting to improve your life. Sorry, I don't know why I'm slouching down. It's because the camera's at a certain height and I can't get it any further up. So I'm just kind of like, but take that aside and start. See, I forgot. I actually just forgot by speaking about something else. Yes. When you become aware and you're in the self-development journey, the thing that you start doing is you start identifying things wrong with you. So back to the example I said, money. I was like, wait, the way that I earn money is doing my fucking head in. Let's solve that problem. Let's download new information into the brain. So I'd go on these walks, repetitive for miles every day, listening to Rob Moore, who's done 250 million in sales, property investing, books, courses, all that stuff, right? And I listened to that advice. And then for the next things, I'm like, okay, I've got asthma. What's wrong with my lungs? How do you detoxify your lungs? Why is there inflammation in my lungs? And you start looking for information. You start, you know what I mean? You just start problem solving. But the thing that you need to discern first is opinions, advice, do your personality test, and then start leaning into your new life path that you're supposed to do. Then you're self-aware. Then you start solving all the rest of the problems. Hope that makes sense. And I hope that helps you. And I will see you next week. Much love, brother. Peace.